Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the University of Wisconsin's 158th commencement ceremony. We are here this morning for one reason, and that's to honor and congratulate our graduates, so please join me right away in congratulating all of them. There are a lot of proud families here today. 1,134 of the 5,390 graduates this semester are the first in their families to graduate from college. Congratulations. So 21% are first-generation graduates. 15.4% of our undergraduates expecting to graduate this weekend have parents who are alumni of UW-Madison. Congratulations to those parents. Over 7% of those expecting to graduate this weekend have grandparents who are alumni of UW-Madison. Many others have parents and family members who've graduated from other UW system campuses. 263 international undergraduates from 40 countries are part of our commencement ceremonies this weekend. "213 international master's candidates from 46 countries. Please stand and thank these proud families from all over the world. Graduates. You can sit. So this morning, I was wondering what you're going to remember most vividly as you leave UW-Madison. What you remember now will differ from what you're going to remember 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, or 40 years from now, as things become differently meaningful. I can't really say what any one of you will remember about your time at UW-Madison, but I can say something about how we will remember you. You are the first graduating class ever to have learned how to bucky. Even though I still haven't learned. You are the first graduating class ever, I believe, to have had 2 snow days. Yeah. That's my gift to you. You're welcome. The first students who entered our extraordinary First Wave spoken word program are graduating today. Congratulations to them. You are also the first graduating class to have seen and enjoyed the Wisconsin Institutes for Discovery, the beautifully renovated education building, and Union South. And Union South. How many of you have been bowling in Union South? I'll take you on. You're the first class to have been intimately involved in the decision-making for the Madison Initiative for Undergraduates funding, and you're really the first class to have started to benefit from that funding. Thank you. You're the first graduating class in many decades to have had a sitting president visit the campus and speak to you, President Barack Obama. Those of you who slept in the state capitol are the first in a long time to do so. And if we're all lucky, you will be the first and also the last class to have spent your entire time at UW-Madison during the worst recession since the Great Depression. I hope it's not wishful thinking to say you'll be the last. You are extraordinary young people with incredible academic, extracurricular, and public service achievements to your credit. You're curious and open to the world, and the world needs that more than ever. You've studied in more than 70 countries on all 7 continents. You've welcomed the first group of world-class Chinese athletes to campus and shown them what it means to be part of a vibrant campus. You are entrepreneurial, and the world needs entrepreneurial spirit. When you see a need, you create an organization or a team or a project, and you've led projects all over the world as social entrepreneurs, socially conscious entrepreneurs. You've created products, you've written business plans, you've taken advantage of all the resources we've started to offer here aimed at supporting your entrepreneurial spirit. You are socially conscious and politically engaged. I applaud you for seizing the opportunity this year to express your points of view and be part of the often messy work of democracy. Congratulations on that. You are compassionate, and the world has never needed that more either. You've quietly folded origami cranes to raise money for those stricken by the earthquake and the tsunami in Japan. You've danced all night at the Wisconsin Dance Marathon to raise money for the children at the American Family Children's Hospital. Many of you became active in breaking the silence against bullying and raising awareness to stop sexual violence. Many of you have stood firm against racism and anti-Semitism on the campus and off. You are artists and performers, and you have treated us to marvelous displays of your talent in dance, in music, and in the other arts during this wonderful year of the arts at UW-Madison. And you have given us plenty to cheer about. For one thing, we celebrate this year the 125th anniversary of the Badger Band. How many of you are band members? Yes, we know you are. Many of you have played on some great intramural club sports teams and on our intercollegiate athletics teams, and all of us have cheered as the women's hockey team has won several national championships during your time here. This past year, a couple of you in the audience, and all of us cheered you, got to the men's basketball final, or Sweet 16. Final was my wishful thinking. And our football team made it to the Rose Bowl. How many of you went? Friends, you are receiving your degrees today from a great university with a great faculty, a university that's ranked among the top 20 by Shanghai Jiaotong World University Rankings. We are one of less than a handful of public universities to make it onto the list of the world's top universities, public and private. That's extraordinary. Your faculty ranks 7th in the United States in the number of National Academy members we have in our ranks. You're receiving degrees from one of only 2 universities in the United States, public or private, to have been in the top 5 for 20 straight years in the amount of competitively won research funding our faculty brings into the state. Over $1 billion annually. That's a great achievement. And just this year, 40 of our graduate programs were ranked in the top 10 by the National Research Council rankings across a full range of disciplines, which you yourselves have studied. A college degree has never been more important Everyone will tell you that. I believe it's true. Those of you who are graduating with a degree today are going to become the state's and the nation's teachers and its experts in educational policy. We've never needed great teachers and better educational policy more than we need it now. The state, the nation, and the world has never had a more urgent need for nurses, for people who will become doctors and public health experts, which you will do. The state has never needed people with expertise to support our great agricultural industry more than it needs them now. And there are many of you in this audience who will go out and do that. It needs researchers. It needs champions of the environment. And many of you graduating today are those champions. It needs designers, and many of you are those designers. It needs specialists in human development. And the more we learn about how the brain develops and how children develop, the more we realize we need great parents. I hope you'll all, those of you who choose to have children, be great parents, and if not parents, great family members and friends to your children. You have the qualities to succeed in the world, but also to change it, to transform it, and it needs to be transformed. Be guided by principles as you go forward, but make sure your principles have been tested by reason, by evidence, and by other people's point of view. Continue to fight for what's right, but don't give in to cynicism or despair or hatred in the face of difficulty. Be reminded that reality is a lot more complicated and a lot more interesting than bullet points or political slogans or newspaper headlines can capture. This has been a politically turbulent time, not only here in Wisconsin, but around the world. And there are plenty of reasons in the world for anger. Anger needs to be honored, but we also need to try and act on it in ways that are constructive, in ways that offer alternatives that work. Remember that it's a lot easier to blow things up than it is to build them. And it's sometimes easier to go the way of dismissiveness and hate than it is to hold open the possibility that more patience and goodwill could help clear up misunderstanding. The political landscape continues to be dominated by partisan acrimony, with little interest in reaching across aisles for discussion, much less to reach agreements. Be the generation that changes that. Remember the lessons of the poets and the artists who cross boundaries all the time. Develop the imagery and the feelings and the thoughts that help us be fully aware and fully alive to others. A poetic approach requires that our demands for action and for change be inflected by other values, by respect for others, by respect for being itself. The demands for immediate results and political loyalty can kill if they aren't inflected by other values. Values that ensure our actions are enriched by wisdom, values that help us appreciate the preciousness of everything we've been given by our families and our predecessors. With that appreciation, we may have a kinder and more caring impact on the future. That, a more caring and kinder impact on the future, is the Wisconsin idea. I feel privileged by my work because of my contact with you, because of the opportunity to work on your behalves, because of the delight of experiencing over and over again how much fun you are, how decent you are, how resourceful you are. You who have so much promise, so much spirit, and so much hope. I hope you stay in touch and visit often. Remember that you look great in red. Congratulations, and on Wisconsin.